Signal, area
Good evening, it's 9:30. Welcome to NewsCenter. I'm Julian Grace.
And I'm Andrea Burnatz. Members of Spectrum hope their march across campus this evening will bring awareness and understanding to the gay and lesbian community, as well as to domestic violence within it.
It's tonight's top story. The march started at 8 p.m. tonight in front of the Arts and Journalism building and will take students to the Village and down Fraternity Row, then back to campus. It's all part of the National Day of Silence and part of a national movement protesting the silence faced by the lesbian and gay community. More events are scheduled for this week. Tonight, our partners at the Ball State Daily News are finishing up their investigation into Muncie's newest student apartment complex and what you need to know before signing the lease.
And now Daily News reporter Megan Farr joins us now with more on what they've uncovered. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Julian and Andrea. Many students are comfortable and happy living at Sterling University apartments. Property managers even say it's like living at a resort. But a lot of students we talk to say it's far from that.
It's not exactly connected to the counter. Oh. Yeah.
From broken dishwashers to water leaks and peeling floor tiles, these students say living at Sterling just isn't worth the rent.
It's all bubbled out here, and it's really flimsy. It's not even like attached. It's just kind of paneling sticking out from the wall.
Was this always like this?
Yeah, since we moved in.
Property manager Gail Eiler insists Sterling is prompt and does their best to fix problems. She says they aren't uncommon in large apartment complexes.
I think I know from my years in apartment management that, you know, you can probably get that from any number of people wherever you go, because obviously everyone isn't going to be happy wherever they are.
Julian and Andrea, the main point we got from students is that no apartment complex is perfect, but they're talking about an apartment building that is less than a year old, and students say there have been major structural problems since day one.
Now, Megan, what is the property manager saying about this?
She insists they do everything they can to fix problems as quickly as possible. She also says these problems aren't really anything out of the ordinary for major apartment complexes with hundreds of tenants. But the students we talked to disagree.
Well, great. Thanks, Megan. And you can also find out more about these and more details in tomorrow's Ball State Daily News.
Then tomorrow, News Center at 9:30, see firsthand the students who are talking about the tour in the apartment. Plus, see what Sterling managers have to say about it. It's all tomorrow in the Ball State Daily News on News Center at 9:30. Tonight, Ball State student bodybuilders had the opportunity to show off years of hard work at Emens Auditorium.
And Patricia Van Zarsdale is at the news desk with the full story.
Thanks, Andrea and Julian. Going to the gym is a hobby for most students, but for a select few, it's a lifestyle. Over 20 male and female Ball State students competed at Emens Auditorium tonight in a bodybuilding competition sponsored by the National Strength and Conditioning Association. The Mr. and Mrs. Ball State competition drew in its biggest audience since it started in 1965, filling over 200 seats and going steady as the people arrived late in order to get a glimpse of the students' hard work. Lowell Faison, president of the bodybuilding club, says that bodybuilding is a sport that teaches students to persevere.
Perseverance, discipline, and I guess a way to just dig down deep and to try to do some things they've never done before.
Check out tomorrow's edition of the Ball State Daily News for the winners of the competition. Andrea and Julian, back to you.
Great. Thanks, Patricia, for that report.
From our partners at the Ball State Daily News, here are tomorrow's headlines tonight. Find out who won Miss and Mr. Ball State University from the bodybuilding competition that took place this evening. Ball State senators are debating a change in policy which would notify parents if their student was arrested for drug or alcohol charges. Finally, does the White River owe its health to the Muncie citizens? Find out these stories and more in tomorrow's edition of the Ball State Daily News. Tonight, Delta High School hosted a program that could change your life. That could change your life. Geared towards teaching high school students and the consequences of drinking and driving.
And there's no need to be alarmed. The scenes are not real, but the impressions they leave are, as Ben Piney reports.
These scenes are not real, but the tragedies they display are. Now in its 6th year, the Real Life program at Delta High School brings the consequences of drinking and driving to life. Sean Johnson, the captain of the Albany EMS and coordinator for the Real Life program, says he has been preparing since July, and he says he wants everyone to experience real life.
That's what we want. We want big numbers. I mean, even if we have low numbers and we affect just one person, we've accomplished our goal.
Many who have gone through the 45 minutes of the Real Life program are getting this message.
A lot of them that are surprised at what they see. The other day, but it's been about a month now, I was at the McDonald's drive-thru, and one of the girls that works there stopped me and said, you know, 2 years ago I went to that Real Life program and it touched me. And she said, you know, she wants to help. She's helping this year, as a matter of fact.
Delta junior Heather Sonway has been through it and came again this year.
Yeah, well, like in 8th grade, it made me cry, but this time I was kind of used to it. I knew it was going to happen, but kind of made me sad and think about what could happen.
Heather's friend Jamie Smith says she was also affected by the realism.
It was really realistic, and they used people's names that I knew, and that was sad because, I mean, just having people that you know be in it.
Delta's assistant principal Sam Fields says these scenes are a needed reminder.
You know, kids see these kinds of things. Unfortunately, sometimes they don't stick, but everybody needs reminded.
Ginger Keating, who guided me and others through the program, says she was happy to volunteer.
It's a great program. Come out to see it, and try as best as you can to get out here. It's great for teenagers getting ready to go to prom. It has a real impact on a lot of people.
More than 100 volunteers from around the Delaware County area helped make the message clear that drinking and driving has real-life consequences. From Delta and for News Center 43, I'm Ben Piney reporting.
And with the many recent events of people claiming their own lives for political reasons, this leaves many of the outside wondering why. Political science professor Roger Hollins commented on the bombings today and agrees that it is a tragic situation for both sides, but believes it's mostly a violent reaction to what the Palestinians consider Israeli aggression.
They feel so frustrated that it's almost like a point of explosion. What can they do to respond to it? And for some, perhaps some of the terrorists have encouraged people to, play a role as suicide bombers. But
Professor Holland says he hopes the Israelis and Palestinians can reach a political settlement that will bring an end to the violence. And now turning to the forest forecast, Ben Pining joins us with a look at weather.
That's right. Beautiful day out there today.
Absolutely beautiful.
Saw a lot of people throwing the football, whizzing the frisbee out there. I didn't have to get to take advantage of it, but we did have a high of 61 degrees today. Lots of sun out there. Lower to mid-60s all across the state today. And tonight, clear skies. Those clear skies are going to let some of that heat out. We're going to have a low of 41 degrees. And winds are going to be light, 5 to 10 miles an hour tonight. But how long is this good weather going to last? I'm going to let you know more about that coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Ben. If you're a frequent traveler to Newcastle, driving conditions are going to get worse in order to get better. The heavy travel portion of Indiana 3 between Muncie and Newcastle will be a construction site while it's being rebuilt over the next 2 years. The state awarded a $17.8 million contract to rebuild the 12-mile stretch.
And Governor Frank O'Bannon says a special legislative session is needed to fix the budget. The proposal is getting a mixed reaction from lawmakers. But Alice Bennett, president of Concerned Taxpayers, says the state can't sit back and do nothing.
I think it's just a matter of saying that we've got to try to do something. And if it works, it works. But I'm not very optimistic.
If a special session is held, it will take place May 14th.
Charter flights are on the rise. The absence of commercial flights from Evansville to Indianapolis has increased the number of chartered flights. Shortly after September 11th, U.S. Airways announced it would be dropping its 6 daily flights between the two cities. But John Ziegler says his company is taking passengers to Indianapolis about 7 to 8 times a week, twice as often before the September 11th terrorist attacks. Ziegler believes there will be an airline to serve both Evansville and Indianapolis sometime this year. Coming up on NewsCenter at 9:30, a plane that was grounded for repairs mysteriously rolled off the runway in Los Angeles today.
And we will also have the wrap-up for today's events in the Middle East. Plus, though the Elian Gonzalez protests were over, Think Again will have the details for you after the break.
President Bush made his stance clear today on the ethics of human cloning. He urged Congress to make all types of human cloning illegal. Bush called on the Democratic Senate to adopt legislation that would outlaw cloning for research and medical therapies, as well as reproduction.
Human cloning is deeply troubling to me and to most Americans. Life is a creation, not a commodity.
The House has already passed a ban on all human cloning.
A plane ran away on a runway at Los Angeles International Airport this morning. An American Airlines 767 rolled into a fence on the west side of the airport and broke through to a nearby road. No one was on the plane at the time. Investigators say it had been parked overnight for maintenance, and it's possible that the parking brake wasn't set properly.
On the 13th day of Israel's massive military operation to dismantle.
A legal watchdog group claims the head of Immigration and Naturalization Services ordered the destruction of a memo related to Elian Gonzalez's request to return to Cuba. The group Judicial Watch says it received the information from an INS lawyer. Judicial Watch says the memo discussed the possibility that Elian's father wanted to sue the U.S. The memo is being used as evidence in a civil service hearing against an INS agent involved in the Elian Gonzalez case. And another suicide bombing has killed at least 8 people and wounded more than a dozen others, this time in Haifa, Israel.
And meanwhile, Secretary of State Colin Powell gets ready to sit down with both Israeli and Palestinian leaders. Elian Gonzalez has the latest from Washington.
On the 13th day of Israel's massive military operation to dismantle what Israel calls the Palestinian terror infrastructure, a disturbing but familiar scene. In the Israeli town of Haifa, another Palestinian strapped with explosives took his own life, and this time the lives of 8 others on board a crowded commuter bus. Since the Israeli incursion into the West Bank began March 29th, dozens of Israelis and hundreds of Palestinians have reportedly been killed. The latest violence comes as Secretary of State Colin Powell prepares to try and broker a ceasefire, meeting separately this week with Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat.
I thank the Palestinian people and the Arab leaders with whom I've met over the last several days. I believe that he is the partner that Israel will have to deal with at some point.
In Washington, former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed a group of senators and said only military action could stop the fighting.
There is no political solution to terror. You have to defeat terror militarily in order to have a political process. Yasser Arafat's terrorist regime must be toppled, not courted.
No amount of military force, no amount of killing of Palestinians will make the Palestinians submit and give up their God-given right to live as a free people.
In the meantime, Israeli officials say they will allow Secretary Powell to meet with Yasser Arafat in the West Bank on Saturday, one day after he's scheduled to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon. In Washington, I'm Elian Gonzalez.
And Ben Piney here with a look at weather.
Yeah, stay tuned. I'll have your full forecast and your weekend forecast coming up after the break. Beautiful weather we had out there today. The t-shirt didn't feel too bad on you today. Today's high, we had a 61 right by that normal high of 58. Today's low, kind of chilly, 29 degrees below that normal low of 39. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:10 and set at 7:16 tomorrow. taking a look at our highs around the state, all in the 60s, lower 60s to mid 60s down south in Evansville, 66, 66, 66 in Lafayette, 63 in Indianapolis, 61 for us in Muncie, 62 up near South Bend. And here we can see this line of clouds lining up against this cold front. Slow-moving cold front. We'll be seeing this later on this week, and we'll take a look underneath this cloud cover, and we'll see some rain showers up along the border of U.S.-Canada border and the Lake Superior, but no showers near us. We've had clear skies all day today, and it's been a beautiful day. Nothing to say for clouds in our region, all clear for us. And we'll take a look at our current conditions outside. Nice and clear out there, temperature of 50 degrees, still very comfortable. Winds light, 5 to 10 miles per hour, humidity's low at 65%. And we're going to take a look at our tonight's forecast. We're going to be in this warm sector of this cold front coming our way. It's going to keep temperatures up tonight, and for tomorrow it's going to be looking great also. And tonight's highs are going to be pretty nice as well. You can see the influence of that warm front keeping us in the 40s, 50s down south and all the way down to Texas and south to Mexico, 60s down in Florida. Tonight, clear skies, low of 41 degrees, southeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow morning, we're going to see mostly sunny skies, temperature of 50 degrees, southeast wind, keeping the temperatures up from the south at 8 to 12 miles per hour is the wind. And that cold front tomorrow night is going to be creeping our way. And by Friday, we're going to have some showers late in the day on Friday. That cold front will be in our area giving us some showers. And temperatures are looking beautiful for tomorrow. 70s all across the Midwest, 80s down south. Nothing to complain about for us tomorrow. Enjoy the sun. High of 71 degrees, southeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Beautiful day. Enjoy it tomorrow. Friday, we're going to look at some showers later on the night. 65 for a high. Saturday, high of 62 degrees. And Sunday, we are going to have a high of 63, a low of 46. So looking good. We're going to have some periods of showers. But other than that, the temperatures are looking nice.
Beautiful outlook, Ben.
71 for tomorrow.
Thanks for that report.
And now Margie Zihar joins us with a look at sports. So what's going on, Margie?
Well, it's a beautiful day, so that means people want to play baseball and they want to play golf. I'll have both those things when NewsCenter at 9:30 returns. The Ball State baseball team goes into this coming weekend off a win with a little help from an Xavier error yesterday in the 10th inning. But starting at pitcher for the Cards is someone that can win all on his own. Bryan Bullington already holds the school record for strikeouts and is just 35 away from breaking the all-time MAC record. Now remember, he's just a junior with a season and a half still to play for Ball State. Bullington thinks that he can break the record and thinks it's an honor.
Well, it's obviously a great honor. I mean, as a junior doing it in only 3 years, hopefully that'll be something I'll be able to put in my back pocket and move on. But we're just trying to win some games right now and really enjoying how we're playing right now.
You know, he's a great pitcher, and it'd be a tremendous honor to have the MAC record in strikeouts simply because there's been a lot of great pitchers throughout the years in the Mid-American Conference. Several played and had successful careers in the major leagues.
Bullington will start in Game 1 of a series with Miami this weekend. And the Ball State men's basketball team may be done until November, but honors are still pouring in for Theron Smith. Smith, who averaged just under 20 points a game, has been named to the Basketball Times All-Mid-East team. He ranked second this year in double-doubles in the country and was one of only 4 players nationwide to average 1 a game. Joining him with the honors to the team are Ryan Humphrey of Notre Dame, Jared Jeffries of Indiana, Keith McLeod of Bowling Green, and Marcus Taylor of Michigan State. In another baseball news, Ken Griffey Jr. is out for 3 to 6 weeks, but doctors said today he is improving nicely. Griffey partially tore the patella tendon and partially dislocated his kneecap during a rundown in Sunday's game against Montreal. For the next few weeks, he'll be in the trainer room for physical therapy twice daily and has been placed on the disabled list for 15 days. And finally tonight, the first of the 4 major golf tournaments each year starts tomorrow in Augusta, Georgia. The 66th Masters will be in full swing tomorrow with the course having been altered extensively this year, adding just over 300 yards. Now, who wouldn't want to try to make it a little harder to combat some of the power hitters, like last year's winner Tiger Woods, shown here, and runner-up David Duval. Lefty Phil Mickelson is also a favorite to win, but many will be watching John Daly, who has struggled over the years with alcoholism and will be playing in the Masters tomorrow after a few years away from the tourney.
I think when I came here in '92, I kind of took for granted my exemption status, not thinking it would end, and this means more to me being here this year than probably any other year.
The Masters starts tomorrow with the first grouping teeing off at 8:30 a.m. And you know, it's the biggest golf tournament, and it's, you know, everybody just really likes it. It's hard to get tickets to it. So.
That's right, Margie. Thanks for that sports
Thanks.
report. After the break, Ben Piney will be in with a recap of the weather, and he will tell you what it would be like when you wake up tomorrow morning.
And the driver for the Indy Pace car has been announced. Find out what makes this year so special coming up after the break. And Ben Piney here with a look at our weather.
Yeah, tonight we're going to have a little cool down, a low of 41 degrees, but we're going to jump right back up 30 degrees from that to 71 for a high tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, though, temperature 50 degrees, mostly sunny. Winds out southeast to 8 to 12 miles an hour, keeping that temperature up and really nice. Again, enjoy that sun at 71 degrees tomorrow. Southeast wind to 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, 65. We're going to have some showers later in the evening, and 62 on Saturday. Very nice day also. Sunday, more showers, 63 for your high. So.
Well, great. Thanks a lot, Ben. On your marks, get set, go. Actor Jim Caviezel is driving the Corvette Pace car at the start of the May 26th Indianapolis 500. Caviezel says his role as a pace car driver is the opportunity of a lifetime. He recently appeared in the movies The Count of Monte Cristo and Madison, to be released in August. He is going to be the 4th celebrity driver in a row. And thanks for joining us for NewsCenter at 9:30. I'm Andrea Burnett.
And I'm Julian Grace. NewsCenter 43 is an official CNN student bureau. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for NewsCenter at 5:30. Good night.